Cause I'm a pirate, yeah, yeah, a pirate, yeah, yeah, a pirate, yeah, yeah.
I was squealing y'all. It's so good. It's like 3 songs together in one but in the best way possible. The I'm a pirate bit gives me second gen vibes. The pre-chorus sounds like club music from the early 2010s. Like I can definitely hear J-Lo's on the floor somewhere in there. And also Doja Cat's Boss Bish. The rest of the song is like a mix of 3rd and 4th gen music. The whole song is great but the outro elevates it even more. It literally gives me goosebumps every time I listen to it. First was great but it didn't scream Everglow to me. Pirate on the other hand draws off on a similar concept to first but it also looks and sounds like an upgraded Adios and Dun Dun. Jesus, it's so catchy. Once it ends I immediately want to hear it again. It's absolutely song of the year material for me. Now that we've had a retro revival and Y2K has had its time to shine, I think it's only fitting that 2010 club music is gonna make a big comeback soon. This is quite possibly one of if not the most anticipated debut of the year and they do not look like rookies at all. I didn't really know what to expect going in. I thought I'd be seeing a teen crush concept with a splash of ethereal elegance perhaps. I definitely was not expecting the girl group version of Make-A-Wish but damn it's so good and they killed it. I liked it at first but it grew on me even more. I actually really like this sound for them. It's helping set them apart from other 4th gen groups, giving them a unique edge. Yujin was my bias in Eyes 1 and the way I was squealing when I saw her first teaser and when she was announced as the leader. I'm so proud. Literally all of her parts in the song are my fave. When she came out for her part in the second verse I almost about fainted from her power. Side note, I know the Maknae caused a lot of buzz cause of her age. Personally I don't think it's wise to debut an idol so young and is kinda sus but what can we really do now? The girl's already debuted so let's support her and the rest of IVE the best we can. I never thought that it was possible but we got 4 goddamn comebacks this year. I love how they returned to the visual aesthetic they had in Beautiful Beautiful and Ugly Dance. WM really makes the best green screen music videos. Goosebumps reminds me of their darker stuff like Why but it's also very bright like Beautiful Beautiful. I get some Ghostbusters meets Michael Jackson vibes. And that electric guitar or bass in the background sounds similar to the one in Next Level, which all the more accents the cyberpunk concept. Beautiful Beautiful was bright and experimental on and off. Ugly Dance was groovy on and off. Popping was refreshing summer vibes on and off and now Goosebumps is dark and edgy on and off, which makes it my favorite comeback of theirs this year. I'm so happy that we got to see all of these sides of them this year cause these guys have proven that they can do anything. I'm gonna miss them so much now that they're going into the military together minus you. It just shows that they're each other's ride or dies for life. Fuses are gonna miss you guys so much. 3 words. Pink hair Seongwa. I don't think they've ever done a song like this as a title track before but it's such a great change in pace. It gives off graduation vibes which makes it perfect for an end of year comeback. It's so emotionally charged and pulls at your heartstrings. It makes you cry but feel comforted at the same time which makes it so powerful. I was not expecting them to have something so emotional and ballad-like as a title track ever. I'm actually mad at how good this album is. Jesus, I got so emotional listening to this album especially when listening to their Kingdom tracks cause it felt like I was watching them grow up all over again. This is my second taste of punk rock in K-pop after Lauren and I really like this style and image for them. A lot of K-bands I find do ballads and sentimental songs, which I really like cause it suits my everyday vibe. But every now and then I love seeing things like this that do a complete 180 of what I expect them to do. Now that I think about it, this actually is a perfect sound for them as a 4th gen K-band. Also can we just talk about the styling for a second? Who even has the patience to create this work of art? It's not a song that I'd typically reach for on a daily basis but I appreciate the genre they're bringing into the mainstream. I see so much potential in them and can only imagine them getting as big as Day 6 and Stray Kids one day. Lucy somehow managed to always make songs with lyrics that I need to hear at that specific moment in my life. Their music always comforts me. It's pretty scary being an adult, so listening to their music makes me feel reassured that everything will be okay. Lucy truly have a talent at perfectly capturing the feelings of adolescence and adulthood in their songs, and it's just so beautiful. The main message that I often get from their music is to always keep that childlike wonder and ambition to chase after our dreams, and to not fade into the lull of adulthood. I do not stress this enough when I say this entire album is art. If you're feeling down, just play the whole album. Half an hour later you'll be feeling much better. Trust me. This is as close to my dream as we could get. We got such a heartwarming song with almost all of the members singing. I'm praying that 2022 will be the year where we get a song with all 23 members having lines. The scene where it's snowing against a dark backdrop reminds me so much of this NCT 2018 photo. At some points in the MV as well it reminds me of Without You. SM knew exactly what they were doing, having Johnny up front and center in Beautiful. And oh my god, mint hair Yang Yang was something that I never thought I needed to witness until now. I'm not the biggest fan of the hook in universe, but I think after a few listens I'll get used to it. Also, New Axis is the new Mad City. Overall, a few of my wishes for NCT 2021 got granted. I mean, I never thought I'd see Yang Yang and Doyoung in the same unit, and I'm really glad that Shotaro was finally let out of the basement. I'm kinda mad we only got 5/6 of the 2000 line in the universe unit, but a girl can only hope that an OO unit will happen one day. If there's one thing that I don't like about this comeback as a whole, it has nothing to do with the group or the album, but it's rather with SM. In my opinion, Empathy was the best era of NCT as the full ensemble. We got proper promotions for all of the units with nothing feeling rushed. With NCT 2020 and 21 it just feels like SM left everything until the last minute. And especially since it's the end of the year, there are barely any chances to properly promote the album. Like, I get SM was busy with aespa and the other NCT units released a bunch of full albums. I just wish that they would give the entirety of NCT the proper promotional time that they deserve. Side note, am I crazy, or does the build up to the chorus in Vroom sound like the pre-chorus to New World by On and Off?
Where are you, Christmas?
Xion debuted. I am loving Billy's whole aesthetic. It's like Nancy Drew meets Wes Anderson meets TXT's Nap of a Star. It kind of sounds like a Red Velvet B-side, and I am certain that it could have been, since Mystic is a subsidiary under SM. They've only been around for a little over a month, but I've fallen for this group so much. Their debut EP is one of the best, and now with this special single they keep on proving how God sent their vocals are. This is the immaculate, ethereal, magical vibes I've been missing in my life. 90s music has a flavor that feels very futuristic yet nostalgic and magical at the same time, which is actually such a perfect sound for aespa. Just think about it though. Their whole concept is AI, so it's very futuristic and utopia dystopia like. But there's always been this element of fairy tale magic. Ugh, I could praise their aesthetics all day every day. I love that they kept the robot rapping cause it just screams 90s and I love it. I really wish that more groups could cover older K-pop cause it sounds so refreshing and new. Now let's talk about the SMCU Express album. We finally got an OGG release after like 3 years. About time, y'all. I would consider myself to be a really big SM stan. They are probably my favorite company if we're talking about their artists. I love SNSD, FX, BoA, SHINee, EXO, Red Velvet, NCT and aespa. And there was a time where I was a hardcore EXO-L and later on a hardcore N-Citizen. This whole SMCU thing is taking me back to 2012 when there was a big emphasis on the SM family concept, which I've really missed in the last few years. I'm so glad it's come back bigger, better and more powerful than ever. It would literally be a lost opportunity for SM to not do something like this. Also, holy moly, they are debuting a group with their female artists in just a few days. Like, can we just comprehend for a minute the amount of vocal dance and rap slayage we're about to witness really soon? I love how it's got a theme concept where it's kind of like an SM female NCTU kind of group and artists can switch in and out based on the song. That's honestly the best idea to come out of SM and the best way to exploit the talent that you have. Super M was a fun concept, but the planning of the group was in my opinion very short-sighted and too optimistic. Again, as an SM stan, I was thrilled to see the formation of this group, but in the long run I'm not so sure if it was worth it, since they're not really doing anything right now. It's not on people's minds anymore, and if I'm being brutally honest, they weren't able to achieve what they set out to achieve. In reality, Super M was for the SM stans and the already K-pop stans. To clarify, I'm not saying that Super M are flops. They definitely weren't/aren't. I'm just frustrated at the whole long-term planning aspect of the group. That's all. With girls on top, it will be interesting to see how SM markets them and also plans for them. They've done so many short-lived intra-company project groups that I'm really hoping that this isn't going to be another project that they're gonna drop in a year's time, cause I can see this becoming so huge and revolutionary.
Go ahead and say it already.
I wonder what good deed I did in a former life to be able to witness one of the greatest collabs of all time between two of my biases. We didn't ask for this. We didn't even know we needed this. But when it was announced, I feel like we all collectively dropped to the floor and started crying in anticipation for this masterpiece. Their voices just melt into each other. Both of them remain at the same tone for the majority of the song, but it's the contrast and harmonization that makes this simplicity so outstanding. I love the piano they use, love the visuals, love the sexy vibes, and oh lordy, the choreography is insane.
이뤄질 수 없던 너와 나의 사랑 이야기 Like Beauty and the Beast. 사람들